This week, Nate gets some friends together for a quick game of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds as they try to figure out what makes this game so popular. We continue the Last Man Standing theme by taking a look at Fortnite's new Battle Royale mode, and look back at some of the gaming highlights that came out of brand new technology festival, Hybrid World Adelaide. This is Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this week saw Bethesda take a fairly uncompromising stance when it came to promoting Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. Here's a quick refresher for you. Wolfenstein: The New Order is set in an alternate history timeline, a version of the 1960s where the Nazis won the Second World War. This month's upcoming sequel, The New Colossus, takes the franchise to America, where BJ Blazkowicz and pals are trying to set up a second American revolution against the totalitarian regime. In that context, Bethesda's latest promotion, which centres around the No More Nazis hashtag, makes a lot of sense. What doesn't make sense is the backlash the publisher is experiencing, with online comments accusing the game of cashing in on the recent political climate or of unfairly targeting Nazis and white supremacists. Some are even suggesting that Machine Games is advocating killing people who support US President Donald Trump. Bethesda's Pete Hines has explained in simple terms that the company does not develop games to make specific statements or incite political discussions, instead preferring to make games that are, fun. In Wolfenstein's case, he says, it's pure coincidence that Nazis are marching in the streets of America this year, and it's disturbing that the game can be considered a controversial political statement at all. Obviously, and unsurprisingly, neither Bethesda nor developer Machine Games are planning on changing anything about Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, which is due out on October 27. On to something completely different but equally controversial following the release of the second episode of Batman: The Telltale series.
Riddler was just a small part of a larger threat.
Now, game artists draw inspiration from the world around them, and at times this can include using real-world imagery as placeholders or temporary artwork. Of course, this practice requires a significant amount of caution, making sure that all materials used are carefully checked before the game hits the publishers. This week, it looks like that process may have failed somewhere along the line as Telltale Games worked on their latest comic installment. An image from the game shows an aftermath of a bank robbery, with bodies littering the ground outside an empty vault. And one of those bodies appears to bear a striking resemblance, or be heavily modelled after, the iconic photograph of Russian Ambassador Andrei Karlov, taken shortly after his assassination in a Turkish art gallery last December. Telltale has not shed any light on just how the distinctive figure came to be included in the game, but the company was quick to express regret over the incident and release an update for Batman: The Telltale series, which removes the image across all platforms. And finishing out this week's trilogy of controversy, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has received a serious wave of negative reviews, the first in the game's short history, just days after cracking the 1.5 million concurrent user mark. The source of the backlash came from nearly 10,000 Chinese gamers who weren't too keen on the sudden inclusion of in-game advertising. As if it wasn't bad enough that ads were now included in a game that people had paid money to play, the nature of the ads themselves proved problematic, promoting a third-party gaming VPN in China promising to improve players' ping times. Disgruntled fans argued that, rather than promoting workarounds for the lag problem, developer Bluehole should instead be fixing the problem and improving local Asian servers. In quick, less controversial news, Assassin's Creed Origins will include a difficulty setting for the first time in the Ubisoft series history. This time around, the developers acknowledge that people play for different reasons. Some love the challenging gameplay, but others want the story, and still others play for the history element. When the game launches at the end of the month, you will be able to shift your difficulty selection up or down as you see fit, adjusting things dynamically so you can keep things challenging or make certain encounters a little easier to get through. And speaking of making things easier to get through, if you were considering cheating to get ahead in the new Battle Royale mode for Fortnite, Epic Games encourages you to think again. The dev team is getting ready to bring the ban hammer down hard upon people caught misbehaving in server. Details are being kept under wraps for now, but tools are being rolled out, and we're told that every measure is being explored to ensure that cheaters are removed and stay removed from the Epic ecosystem. In happier news, Netflix is getting ready for the launch of Stranger Things Season 2 by publishing a tie-in video game. The retro-inspired mobile release is simply titled Stranger Things The Game and features characters from the cult series tucked into some familiar locations. Stranger Things The Game is out now for both iOS and Android, and it is completely free to play with no extra purchases or microtransactions included. Meanwhile, if you are still a fan of the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2005, you would probably be interested to learn that a new mod adds 5 new gameplay modes as well as a massive 25 new maps. It is worth noting that if you are a long-time fan of the series, you might actually remember Star Wars Battlefront Conversion Pack from its original release back in 2008. This is the same stuff, but it has been revamped to work with the game's latest version. Installing is a multi-stage process where you need to get the mod and then an update and then a new patch, but if you are still playing and want to check out a new era and a serious chunk of new content, it should be worth the download. But if you're in the mood for something completely different, it is a lovely weekday morning in the village and you are a horrible goose. That is our first look at Untitled Goose Game, which is due out next year from House, the Australian developers of Push Me, Pull You. We don't really have anything more to say about it, but we just wanted to make sure that everybody knows about it. For more information on any of these stories or to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, head to playerattack.com. But for now, stick around, we've got plenty more still to come.